Now, if we add or subtract numbers inside the function or after the function, that moves the graph around. This was the quiz question. It just said, didn't say graph, it just said, what's the domain and the range? So what kind of effect did it have on the graph when we subtracted 4 inside the function? Right 4, right? This is right 4. And what kind of effect did it have on the graph when you added 2 after the function? Reba, up 2? Okay. Now, which one of those is going to change the asymptote? The up, right? It's a horizontal asymptote. So if you move it side to side, it doesn't make any difference. But if you move it up and down, it makes a difference. So if we move this graph so that the asymptote is now here at y equals 2, what's the new range? Y is greater than 2. Right? The graph, it's an exponential growth, and it's shifted 4 to the right, so it's something like that. Right? You weren't asked to graph it. You just had to state the domain and the range. So you would have to say the range is y greater than 2, because the whole graph is moved up 2. Right? Domain is still all real numbers. Exponentials are always all real numbers. Right? What's the effect on the logarithm graph? Because I'm subtracting 2 inside the function. It's a right 2. Is that going to affect anything? Right? So if you start with a logarithm, normally has an asymptote on the y-axis, but if you move the whole graph to the right 2, now it has an asymptote here. So x equals 2. So what would have been the new domain? Right, the graph now is like this. What's the domain? X is greater than 2, and the range is still all real.